Ma'am, I said step back. You people always cause problems. The voice slices through the airport noise like a blade. Heads turn. Phones lift. A white gate agent, mid-40s, stands rigid behind the counter, coffee dripping down her wrist. In front of her, Tanya Miller, a black mother clutching her 6-year-old daughter. Her shirt is soaked. Steam rises from the stain. I didn't even touch you, Tanya stammers, pain flashing across her face. The agent glares. Don't raise your voice at me. You people always cause problems. A hush spreads. Someone gasps. Another person whispers, she didn't do anything. The child hides behind her mother's leg, trembling. Tanya's throat tightens. Please, she says softly. I just want to board the plane. The agent folds her arms. Then learn some manners. A man near the window mutters, here we go again. The words slice deeper than the burn on Tanya's skin. Every eye feels like a weapon. Every silence a verdict. And in that frozen moment, humiliation becomes public entertainment, but no one steps forward. Not yet. And Tanya? She's about to learn what silence really costs. Hot drops trail down her blouse. The smell of burned fabric fills the air. Tanya winces, clutching her daughter close. It's okay, baby, she whispers, forcing a smile. Mommy's fine, but she's not. Her chest throbs. Her dignity bleeds. Behind the counter, the agent shakes her head dramatically, loud enough for everyone to hear. Unbelievable. Some people just don't know how to act. A passenger nearby raises their phone, recording. Another leans over, whispering, this is ridiculous. Tanya looks around, searching for a face, any face, that might stand with her. But all she finds is judgment. Her daughter tugs at her sleeve. Mommy, why was she mean to us? Tanya's lips tremble. Sometimes people just have bad days, she says, even though they both know that's not the truth. The gate feels colder now. Her shirt sticks to her skin, her pride buried under the stares of strangers. And still, no one speaks. Tanya takes a careful step forward. Excuse me, she says, voice steady but shaking. You spilled it on me. I didn't. The agent slams her hand on the counter. Enough! The sound echoes. The little girl flinches. You people need to learn to behave in public, the agent snaps, her tone dripping venom. The crowd murmurs. Someone gasps audibly this time. Yet no one interferes. Tanya feels the ground tilt beneath her. The shame isn't hers, but it sticks to her skin anyway. She looks down at her child, whose small eyes are filled with tears she doesn't understand. I said step back. The agent warned again, voice raised for effect. I'm calling security. Tanya's words die in her throat. The woman who's supposed to help her, now painting her as a threat. And around them, the whispers grow louder, a tide of judgment she can't escape. Silence. That's what hurts the most. Not the burn. Not even the insult. It's the silence. Phones hover mid-air. A teenager snickers. A man in a suit shakes his head and mutters, just ignore her. Tanya stands frozen, her daughter clutching her arm so tightly it leaves marks. Every second stretches. Every stare feels like a sentence. Tanya whispers, barely audible. Please. I just want to board. Her voice cracks. Nobody answers. A single tear escapes, not from pain but from disbelief. How easily the world can turn against one mother, one mistake that wasn't even hers. And still, the gate agent watches her, satisfied. Like humiliation was part of her job description. The air thickens with unspoken words, and somewhere deep inside Tanya, something begins to stir, something that's had enough of being silent. The agent exhales sharply, pretending to wipe her hands on a napkin. Then she reaches for the intercom. Attention passengers, she says, voice smooth, performative. Flight 728 to Dallas is delayed due to a disruption at the gate. The word disruption lands heavy. Tanya freezes. The crowd shifts their gaze back to her, the so-called cause of everyone's delay. Someone scoffs, figures. Another says, always drama. Tanya's daughter starts crying again. Mommy, why are they mad? Tanya doesn't have an answer. All she can do is hold her close, whispering, it's not your fault, sweetheart. The agent hangs up the intercom and smirks. Another problem solved. Laughter ripples from a corner. But beneath the noise, something changes. A flicker of movement. A phone camera still rolling. Because while humiliation may have won the moment, truth is already recording its revenge. Tanya stands still, drenched in coffee and disbelief. The world feels frozen. Her heart pounds so loud it drowns out the chatter. Her daughter buries her face into her side, sobbing. And then, everything stops. The voice of the narrator cuts through the stillness. She didn't know it yet. But in 10 minutes, she'd shut down the entire flight, fade into silence. Because justice has a way of finding the quietest people. Right before the world starts listening. Mom, are we gonna miss the plane? The little voice cuts through the morning haze. Tanya looks up from the half-packed suitcase, dark circles etched beneath her eyes. Not if Mommy keeps moving, she says, forcing a laugh. Now where did you hide your socks, troublemaker? Her daughter giggles and points to a corner. It's the kind of sound that makes exhaustion fade, if only for a second. The clock on the wall blinks 5:42 a.m., another sleepless night. Another race against time. Tanya folds a tiny pink jacket and pauses. Behind the smile sits a quiet storm. Overdue rent, missed shifts, the weight of always being strong because she has no choice. She zips the bag shut, kneels, and hugs her daughter close. We're gonna make it, baby, she whispers. We always do, and she means it, even when she's not sure how, but that's Tanya Miller. A woman who holds her world together with faith, caffeine, and the kind of strength no one sees until it breaks. The kettle whistles. Tanya pours herself a cup, the bitter smell of instant coffee filling the silence. Her phone buzzes. Another text from her manager. Need you back Sunday. Double shift. She sighs, thumbs a quick reply. I'll be there. Night shifts, back-to-back patients, skipped meals. That's her rhythm. A nurse by title, a warrior by survival. Bills stacked on the counter remind her that rest is a luxury she can't afford. Still, she folds her scrubs with care, smoothing the fabric like it's made of silk. Because to Tanya, those scrubs mean something. They mean purpose, dignity. I hope that one day her daughter will never have to struggle the same way. The world may never notice people like her, but they keep it running anyway. Tanya kneels, tying her daughter's shoelaces while the morning light spills through the curtains. Just a few hours, baby, she says softly. Then we'll see Auntie walk across that stage. Her daughter grins wide. And we'll take pictures, right? Lots of them, Tanya smiles. Big smiles only, but behind that smile, her heart aches. The trip isn't just for a graduation. It's for a reminder that joy still exists somewhere beyond hospital walls and overdue bills. As she lifts the suitcase, her hands tremble from fatigue. She doesn't tell her daughter she hasn't slept in 26 hours. Mothers like Tanya don't complain, they just keep moving. She grabs her purse, checks the boarding pass, and whispers to herself, just make it through today. She has no idea how prophetic those words will become. The hum starts as a whisper, the tune Tanya always sings when she's nervous, a soft melody, borrowed from her own mother. Her daughter skips beside her, clutching a stuffed bear as they glide through security. Tanya's smile stays steady, even when her back aches and her legs feel like lead. She's used to blending in, polite, calm, invisible. That's how she's learned to survive. At the check-in counter, Tanya greets the woman behind the desk with warmth. Good morning. The agent glances up, then down again, her tone clipped. ID? Something in her eyes lingers too long, assessing, judging, dismissing. It's small, barely noticeable, but Tanya feels it. The kind of glance every black woman recognizes instantly. The one that says, I've already decided who you are. Still, Tanya hands over her ID, smiling through the discomfort. Because she's learned, peace often comes at the cost of pride, but this time, it won't stay that way. As Tanya walks toward the gate, she glances back. The agent's eyes meet hers, cold, dismissive, followed by the faintest roll. It lasts less than a second, but it tells a lifetime of stories, and Tanya feels that chill deep in her chest. She doesn't know it yet. But that look will soon make her the center of a storm she never asked for. "Ma'am, you'll have to check that stroller." The voice is sharp, flat, a tone meant to cut, not communicate. Tanya looks up, startled but polite. "Oh, sure, I can fold it. It fits in the overhead bin, though. I've done it on every flight." The gate agent doesn't look up from her screen. Not on this one. It's policy. Policy, that word. The cold shield people hide behind when they want to sound professional while being cruel. Tanya nods, staying calm. "Okay, could I just—" "I said check it," the agent snaps, louder this time. Heads turn. A few passengers glance over, curious. Tanya feels their eyes crawl up her back. She forces a smile. "No problem." Her voice trembles, not from anger, but from the effort of swallowing it. Her daughter tugs her sleeve. "Mommy, what's wrong?" "Nothing, baby," Tanya whispers, bending down. It's okay, but it's not okay. Because 3 people before her had strollers, too, all waved through with a smile. And deep down, she knows this isn't about a stroller at all. Still, she stays quiet. Because being right never guarantees being treated right. And that silence, it's starting to burn. Tanya steps aside, trying to keep her composure as she hands over the stroller tag. A few minutes later, a white woman approaches the same gate. Same airline, same stroller. "Morning." The agent chirps, cheerful this time. "You're good to go." "Just fold it when you board," Tanya blinks. The words sting more than they should. Same stroller, same gate. Same rules, just applied differently. Her chest tightens, a mix of disbelief and hurt. She glances down at her daughter, who's coloring on her little notepad, oblivious. Tanya exhales, whispering to herself, "Don't react. Don't give her what she wants, because that's the impossible balance she's learned to walk her whole life, staying calm in the face of quiet discrimination, trying to prove she belongs without ever saying a word. The gate agent doesn't even notice her anymore. But Tanya feels every invisible wall she's just been forced to walk into, and for the first time that morning, her smile feels like armor. They find 2 seats near the window. Tanya helps her daughter unwrap a snack, her hands still trembling. The silence stretches too long. Then, a small voice. "Mommy, why was she mean to us?" Tanya freezes. She looks down at those curious eyes. Too young to understand racism. Too old to ignore it. "She wasn't mean, baby," Tanya says softly. "Maybe she's just having a bad day," her daughter frowns. "But she smiled at that other lady." Tanya's throat tightens. She swallows the lump, forcing a gentle laugh. "Well, maybe she forgot to smile at us. People forget sometimes." Her daughter nods slowly, but the innocence has dimmed a little. And in that moment, Tanya realizes this isn't the first lesson her child should be learning, but it's the one the world keeps teaching anyway. She looks out the window, pretending to be calm. But her heart whispers something louder than words. How many times will my daughter have to see this before she stops asking why? The intercom crackles. "Families with small children may now board." Tanya exhales in relief, stands, and gathers her things. "Okay, sweetheart, that's us." But as she approaches the gate, the same agent lifts her hand. "Not yet. Please wait until your group is called." Tanya blinks. "Oh, I thought you just said—" "I'm aware of what I said." The woman cuts her off, voice dripping with authority. Behind her, a white couple walks forward, stroller. Toddler, diaper bag, and the agent smiles. "Right this way." Tanya freezes. Her daughter looks up. "But Mommy," she said, "families." Tanya's lips press together. The humiliation burns through her chest. She wants to speak up, to call it what it is, blatant discrimination, but years of experience whisper, "Not here, not now." She steps back, eyes glistening. Her daughter clutches her hand tighter. The white family boards. The crowd watches, no one saying a word. And Tanya stands there, holding silence like a weapon she never wanted. Tanya sinks into her seat again. Her body still, her mind racing. Her chest feels heavy, full of words she can't say without consequence. The agent sits at the counter now, sipping her coffee, smug, satisfied, untouchable. Tanya tries to focus on her daughter's drawing. A crooked heart, a stick figure mom. You made me pretty, she says, smiling faintly. But her hands won't stop shaking. Behind the counter, the coffee cup wobbles dangerously close to the edge. Brown liquid trembles at the rim, a single drop spilling down the side. Tanya glances up. That cup, that tension, that silence, all on the verge of breaking. Because when small injustices go unchecked, they don't stay small for long, and what happens next will prove that. The sound hits before the heat does, a gasp. Then pain, hot, sharp, immediate. Scalding coffee splashes down Tanya's blouse, seeping into the thin fabric like fire. She jerks back. Oh my God! The gate agent stumbles forward, clutching her cup, eyes wide but not apologetic. Watch where you're going! She snaps, voice slicing through the stunned crowd. Tanya freezes. Me? You walked into me. But the woman's tone rises, dripping venom. Excuse me? I was standing right here. You bumped into me! The nearby passengers murmur. A few lean in. Most look away. Tanya stares down at her soaked shirt, trembling. You spilled your coffee on me? I didn't even... Maybe pay attention next time, the agent interrupts, tossing her empty cup into the trash. I don't have time for people who can't follow simple directions. Simple directions. I like to stay quiet, like knowing your place. Her daughter tugs her sleeve, eyes wide with confusion. Mommy, you're hurt! Tanya wipes the burn with a napkin, her jaw locked. It's fine, baby. It's fine. But it's not fine. Every eye in that gate seems to weigh her down, measuring her worth, judging her reaction, and when she opens her mouth to speak again, the agent leans closer and whispers, low enough for only her to hear. Try to make a scene, and you'll regret it. The words chill her worse than the burn, because Tanya can feel it now. The trap has been set. Security! The shout comes out of nowhere. Tanya's head snaps up. The agent points at her, face twisted in false outrage. She just shoved me. I told her to calm down, and she shoved me. What? Tanya's voice breaks. That's not true. The entire gate goes silent. Every sound, boarding announcements, chatter, footsteps, fades into a dull echo. Phones rise. Screens light up. It's not about truth anymore. It's about spectacle. Tanya steps back, panic clawing at her throat. Please, I swear I didn't touch her. But the agent clutches her shoulder dramatically. You're lucky I'm not pressing charges. A man whispers behind her. She must have lost it. Another mutters, always something with these people. Tanya's stomach turns. These people. Her daughter hides behind her leg, crying now. Mommy, please stop. Let's just go. Tanya's breath trembles. I didn't do anything, baby. I promise. A security guard approaches slowly, eyes wary, one hand already near his radio. Ma'am, what's going on here? The agent folds her arms. She became aggressive when I told her to wait her turn. I felt threatened. The crowd stiffens. That word lands heavy. Threatened. Tanya's hands shake as she tries to explain, but the damage is done. Because in America, threatened, spoken by a white woman, is a sentence all by itself, and Tanya realizes no amount of truth can outrun the story people want to believe. Tanya turns slowly, searching the faces around her. A few passengers whisper, others pretend to scroll their phones. Some even record, not to help, just to document. Please, she says softly, voice cracking. Someone saw what happened. Tell them I didn't touch her. No one answers. A man in a business suit clears his throat, looks away. A woman in line frowns but stays silent. Even the mother from earlier, the one with the same stroller, avoids her gaze. Her daughter sobs harder. Mommy, make them stop! Tanya kneels, hugging her close. It's okay, sweetheart. Mommy's right here. Her voice shakes. Her dignity trembles. The agent sighs dramatically. This is exactly what I was talking about, always playing the victim. A few passengers nod, quiet approval feeding her arrogance. Tanya rises slowly, eyes burning with tears. You humiliated me. You spilled coffee on me, and now you're lying about me. The woman smirks. You should have just followed the rules. The words land like bullets. And in that moment, Tanya understands the cruelty isn't random. It's deliberate, measured, protected by silence. She looks at the crowd again, desperate for one honest voice, but all she finds are eyes pretending not to see. The tension breaks when a tired voice speaks up. "Just let her on the plane." A man from the back, older, maybe 60, steps forward, hands raised. "She's got a kid. You've made your point." For a brief moment, hope flickers, but another voice cuts through, mocking, loud. This is why they always make scenes. Always a problem, never their fault. Laughter ripples through a few passengers. The agent smirks. "See? Even if they get it." Tanya's lip trembles. "I didn't do anything wrong." The security guard sighs. "Ma'am, maybe just apologize so we can move on. Apologize for existing in the wrong skin at the wrong gate." She glances down at her daughter, cheeks red, tears drying on her face, and against every instinct, Tanya nods. "I'm sorry," the agent raises an eyebrow, satisfied. "That's better." The man who'd spoken up looks away, ashamed of how quickly he retreated. Tanya lowers her head, clutching her child's hand, tighter, and though her words said, "I'm sorry," her silence screams something, louder. "You'll remember this." The air feels heavier. Now, the gate agent waves the next passenger forward like nothing happened. Next. Tanya stands still, chest tight, shirt still damp with coffee. Her dignity stained deeper than the fabric. "Ma'am," the guard says softly, "you can wait by the side or I'll have to escort you out." Escort her out. For what? For defending herself? For daring to exist too loudly in a space not built for her? She looks around one last time. The same people who saw everything. Some glance away. Some whisper. Not one of them steps forward. Her daughter's small voice breaks the silence. "Mommy, can we go home now?" Tanya forces a smile through tears. "Yeah, baby. We'll go home." As she turns to leave, the agent calls out, "Sweet as poison." "Next time, try being polite. It'll take you farther." Tanya stops mid-step. Her fists clench. But she doesn't turn around, because she knows, the moment she does, they'll all see the truth they've been pretending not to. And that's the one thing they'll never forgive. The voice breaks through the story. Quiet. "Deliberate? Heavy? Have you ever seen something like this? Would you have stepped in? Or would you have looked away too?" Because Tanya walked out that gate holding her daughter's hand. And the only thing heavier than her soaked shirt was the silence that followed her. Behind her, the gate agent's smirk lingers. Another problem solved. But the real problem was everyone who stayed quiet. And this was only the beginning. "Ma'am, wait." The voice stops her mid-step just outside the restroom. Tanya turns, eyes red, her daughter clutching her hand like it's the only thing keeping her upright. A man steps forward, tall, calm, wearing a navy jacket with pilot wings on the chest. His tone is steady, but his eyes hold fire. "I saw everything," he says quietly. "You didn't do anything wrong." Tanya blinks, half in disbelief. You were there?" He nods, front of the line. "I couldn't interfere while I was off duty, but..." He glances around, lowering his voice. "I recorded it." "The whole thing?" For a heartbeat, Tanya can't breathe. "What?" He unlocks his phone, thumb trembling slightly. "It's all here. Every second. She bumped you, not the other way around. You stayed calm even when she lied. It's crystal clear." Tanya's throat tightens. "Why are you helping me?" He exhales. "Because too many people didn't." Her daughter peers up at him. "Are you going to make them say sorry to my mom?" He smiles softly. "Maybe not today, sweetheart. But they'll know the truth." And for the first time that day, Tanya feels something shift. Not in the crowd, not in the air, but deep within herself. A spark of hope. The video plays in silence, every word, every glare, every ounce of injustice captured in perfect clarity. Tanya's reflection stares back from the phone screen, her voice trembling, her hands shaking. And then the moment the agent spills her coffee, followed by that cruel, mocking tone. "Watch where you're going." Her chest tightens as the truth unfolds before her eyes. The same crowd that looked away is there too, frozen on camera, Witnesses who chose silence. Tanya covers her mouth. "Oh my God." The pilot nods. "It's all time-stamped, clear audio. There's no mistaking what happened. For once, the evidence doesn't twist the truth. It protects it," she whispers, barely audible. "People like her, they always get away with it." "Not this time," the pilot replies. "Not anymore." And though her hands still tremble, it's no longer from fear. It's from the power of being seen. The pilot walks with Tanya back toward the terminal. Every step feels different now, heavier with purpose, lighter with courage. He leans toward another attendant, whispering, "You need to see this." "Right now." The woman takes one look at the video and her face drains of color. "Oh my God." He cuts her off gently. "Send it to your supervisor." Before she buries it, word spreads fast. Whispers ripple like a slow-building storm. Passengers glance over. Some already heard fragments. The pilot caught it on camera. The agent lied. The woman didn't do anything. Tanya can feel the shift. Eyes that once burned with judgment now flicker with guilt. Shame, curiosity, the same mouths that said nothing start murmuring to each other. "She didn't push her?" "No, it was the other way around. I saw her recording too." And for the first time since this nightmare began, Tanya isn't the one shrinking under the weight of attention. Someone else is. Tanya's phone buzzes. Once, twice, then over and over. She glances down. Messages flood in. Notifications piling up. Her friend texts first. "Girl, is this you? You're trending." Ayas, coffee and color. She freezes. Another buzz. Then another. The pilot looks confused. "What's happening?" "The video," Tanya breathes. "It's online. Someone must have uploaded it while they were walking back. Within minutes, it's everywhere. Retweets, duets, news alerts. Her humiliation turned into proof, her pain into protest. Coffee and color rockets across the screen. Thousands of comments flood in. "This is disgusting. Fire that agent immediately." "I can't believe people just stood there." Passengers at the gate start refreshing their phones. And one by one, gasps fill the air. The same crowd that watched her suffer now stares in stunned silence. This time for a different reason. Justice, or something close to it, finally walks into the room, and the woman who once sneered from behind her desk, she suddenly looks very small. Tanya wipes her cheeks, a faint smile breaking through. Her hands are still shaky, but not from fear, from release. She glances at her daughter, then back toward the gate. "Baby," she says softly, "Mommy's not going to stay quiet anymore." The little girl nods. Eyes wide, hopeful, Tanya straightens, chin high, steps forward. The same ground that once felt hostile now feels hers to reclaim. Her voice steady. Her heart full, she whispers, "No more silence." And as the cameras turn, the world finally starts to listen. But what happens next will shake even those who thought they'd already seen it all. "Hold that plane now!" The manager's voice slices through the terminal like thunder. Tanya freezes mid-step as uniformed staff rush toward the gate. Passengers stop in confusion. The air feels heavy, electric. Phones rise again, recording every second. The gate agent, still clutching her clipboard, stammers, I was just following protocol." "Protocol?" The manager snaps. "Is that what you call harassment?" Gasps ripple through the crowd. Tanya's heart pounds. For hours, she had been invisible. Now, every eye turns toward the woman who tried to strip her dignity. The manager points sharply. "Step aside. Right now." The agent's face drains of color as two security officers appear. The once powerful sneer is gone, replaced by trembling silence. Passengers whisper, "That's her, the one from the video." The sound swells like a storm. Tanya's daughter tugs at her sleeve. "Mommy, are they stopping the plane for us?" Tanya kneels, voice trembling. "Not for us, baby. For the truth." The intercom buzzes overhead, boarding suspended until further notice. And for the first time, Tanya doesn't feel powerless. She feels seen. But what happens next? She can barely believe it. It happens fast. One moment, the gate agent is protesting. The next, she's being escorted away. Eyes wide, lips quivering. The same people who once watched Tanya's humiliation now cheer softly under their breath. Good, someone mutters. She deserves it. A man in a business suit shakes his head. About time someone faced consequences. Tanya watches quietly. No anger, no gloating. Just an ache, because it shouldn't take a viral video for people to care. The agent looks back once, eyes meeting Tanya's. A flicker of regret or fear. Then she's gone, swallowed by the crowd's silence. But justice? Justice is only beginning to unfold. Ms. Johnson, the airport manager says into a trembling mic, we owe you more than words. We owe you respect, the crowd hushes. Tanya's name, spoken with dignity, sounds like a prayer. We deeply regret the discrimination you faced today, he continues. You'll receive full compensation, and we're launching an investigation immediately. For the first time, Tanya doesn't flinch when eyes fall on her. She stands taller. The pilot nearby gives a subtle nod, the same one that started this chain of truth. A woman from the crowd calls out, "We're with you!" Applause breaks. Not loud, but sincere. And in that echo, Tanya finally feels what she's been chasing all along. Not revenge, but recognition. Tanya kneels beside her daughter, brushing a tear from the girl's cheek. Mommy, were they mean because of our skin? The little one whispers. Tanya takes her hand. Yes, but listen to me. Never be afraid to speak up. Even when your voice shakes. Her daughter nods, small eyes filled with fire. Like you did? Exactly like that, Tanya smiles softly. Because truth is stronger than fear. Somewhere inside her, the pain shifts. No longer a wound, but a weapon of wisdom. As Tanya boards the plane, the pilot catches her gaze. A quiet nod, steady, proud. Before takeoff, the intercom crackles. To the passenger who reminded us all what courage looks like. Thank you. Applause rises, rolling through the cabin like thunder. Tanya's daughter beams beside her, clapping with tiny hands. The manager's voice echoes faintly over the radio. The agent's been terminated. Effective immediately. Tanya exhales, eyes closing as the plane lifts through the clouds. The ground falls away, but this time she's not leaving in shame. She's rising in truth, and somewhere above the noise, one thought lingers. How many others are still waiting for their moment to rise too? Sometimes, justice doesn't come from anger. The narrator's tone softens, measured, reflective. It comes from the truth. From the courage to stand when the world tells you to stay seated. From the quiet strength of those who refuse to look away. Tanya's voice echoes faintly in memory. I just wanted to go home. But now, her story has become something bigger. A mirror reflecting how injustice hides in plain sight. Until someone dares to confront it, justice isn't loud, the narrator continues. It's patient. It's real. And it starts when one person decides that silence isn't safety, it's surrender. The screen lingers on her face, her dignity restored, not because she shouted, but because she stood. And just like that, the question turns to us. The narrator's voice sharpens, direct. If you were there, in that airport, what would you have done? Would you have filmed? Would you have spoken up? Or would you have stayed silent, pretending not to notice? Every pause feels like a heartbeat. This isn't just Tanya's story, the voice pressed. It's every story that happens when good people look away. You can almost feel the weight of that question. Personal, uncomfortable, true. Because deep down, we all know, the camera can only capture what courage refuses to ignore. Remember this, the narrator says, voice steady now. Silence protects the oppressor, never the victim. A beat of silence follows, deliberate. If this story moved you, don't scroll past it. Speak, comment, share it. Because every time we stay quiet, another voice gets buried under injustice. The tone turns resolute, almost defiant. Subscribe for more real stories, stories that expose the truth and remind the world that change begins with us. But before they fade, one last echo remains. 10 minutes, the narrator whispers. That's all it took. For humiliation to turn into justice. The words hang in the air, soft but powerful. Because in those 10 minutes, a woman rose, a truth surfaced, and silence lost its grip. And somewhere, Another story just like hers is waiting to be heard.